G'day everyone, this is Health Highlights, a show about health, health professionals and the people and the stories behind the names that we hear about but we seldom get to meet. And one of the big buzzwords around health at the moment is Pilates. And who better to talk to you all things Pilates is one of Australia's leading instructors in Pilates, Anita Goswell. Thanks Anita, how are you?
Well, thank you. And you?
Great, thank you. So how long have you been running Lifestyle Pilates for here in Newcastle?
This is going into our 17th year in business.
Wonderful.
As a Pilates studio. Yeah.
So it is a big buzzword, but what is Pilates and where did it originate from?
Okay, so Pilates is a system of exercises that we do either on a mat or on specialised equipment that you can see around us using spring-loaded equipment. Designed by a fellow called Joseph Pilates in the late 1800s. He started with his mat work for himself to get stronger himself, but after World War I, he was interned to actually rehab a lot of injured soldiers that were bedridden in hospitals. So he worked out a system of springs and pulley systems to actually help them start moving again while they were still laying in hospital beds.
Wow.
So it's been around for a long time.
Yeah. And so how did you fall into doing or becoming an instructor and also even a teacher of Pilates?
So I had my own back injury and I found a studio on the Central Coast and started Pilates for my own lumbar spine injury, and I literally found after the first session that I had a fair bit of my pain alleviated.
Wow.
So it was amazing. So I did a little bit more research into it and then decided to become a Pilates instructor myself, and here we are today.
And then now you're actually not only an instructor but you're actually an educator. So how have you found actually educating people and actually being a Pilates instructor?
Well, I enjoy doing that because obviously I'm very passionate about what Pilates does, or what it's done for myself and what it does for our clients.
Yep.
So to be able to offer a government accredited course so instructors can get the right type of training to be a qualified instructor, especially for rehab and injuries, because a lot of people will come to you for rehab and injuries. It's very rewarding because it's getting more qualified and educated instructors out
Absolutely.
in the field.
So good, and that's so important really.
It is,
we need
yeah.
to have people who know what they're doing out there providing that service. So one of the big questions we always get asked is yoga, Pilates. Like, what's the difference and how do I know where to go?
Okay, so look, I'll be honest, I have done one yoga class in my entire life, so I am no expert on yoga.
Yes.
But from what I can tell with the principles of yoga and Pilates, they're very similar in terms of we work on the whole body as a unit. We're looking at stability, strength, balance, flexibility, and whole body movements and also isolated movement patterns. So mat Pilates and yoga, I think, would be fairly similar with principles. So probably the difference being with Pilates, we do have the option of our equipment, our sprung-loaded equipment, so we can make exercises easier or harder depending on how we set equipment up and the type of spring loads that we use for each exercise, depending on the individual's strength at that time.
Okay, wonderful. And so then that gives us the next question. So there is machine-based Pilates and then there's mat Pilates.
Yeah.
Now, is there obviously a bit of a difference between those two as well?
There is. So you'll find a lot of places will offer mat-based Pilates. So it's more like a group exercise class where it's one exercise fits all and we're working on stability, strength, balance, flexibility. So when you get into your specialised equipment such as your Cadillac that we're sitting on now, the sliding beds, the reformers, wonder chairs, it's all sprung loaded, so you've got a lot more versatility with the equipment. We're just not working on core strength, we're working on whole body strength, whole body stability and flexibility, and we've got a lot more options. We can have someone that's really strong on the equipment and we adjust the equipment accordingly, and someone who's quite weak and deconditioned can be doing the same exercises, but we just adjust the equipment and the springs that we're giving them for assistance.
Awesome. So that really indicates that Pilates is so much more than just doing a few sit-ups.
Absolutely.
And building your core.
Yes.
So
yes.
what other things is it all about?
So yeah, look, Pilates isn't just about core stability and core strength. It is a big factor for a body functioning well and for back rehab and other injury rehab. But what the Pilates is doing is looking at the body as a whole. If there's any muscle imbalances from one side to the other, if there's any So we're looking at muscle imbalances in terms of flexibility and strength and stability. We work on all the muscles that stabilise all the joints, and we work on global muscles to facilitate your functional strength exercise as well.
Wow.
So it's just basically having the body to move the way it's designed to move, and to get rid of the imbalances that we do acquire with, poor movement patterns, our sedentary lifestyle, sitting in front of the computer all day. Yeah.
And so, look, just before, you ran me through a whole range of very hard, I have to say, exercises. Can you just give us a bit of idea, as the guys see them now, what those exercises were and what you were actually getting me to do?
Okay, so we were doing roll downs, assisted roll downs on the Cadillac table. So with that, we're working on core strength.
Yep.
We're working on spinal mobility and spinal articulation. So we did start off on a lighter spring. And
that was good.
As Simon fatigued, because we wanted to still keep good technique, I gave him a heavier spring for assistance to make it a little bit more manageable. And then as he fatigued again, we stopped.
Which was nice, I have to say. And then we're over on this machine behind us now. What's that machine and what we're doing there?
Okay, so that's your reformer bed. It's just a sprung-loaded sliding bed. So firstly, we did feet and straps.
We did?
Yeah,
yes.
Feet and straps. So we're looking at pelvic stability, on muscle symmetry again, and on hip disassociation. So being able to work the legs in space while your body's supported. And then we would progress that with kneeling work, standing work, like we progressed that doing it on the Wonder Chair.
Yes.
I then had you doing some heel presses on the Wonder Chair, which looked at more functional pelvic stability, leg strength work and balance.
Awesome, that's right. And so look, for me, Pilates, particularly in the last couple of decades, has absolutely taken off. Like, it's been around for quite a long time. What would you attribute to the fact that Pilates has really just taken off in our community?
Look, I think it's more to do with a lot more celebrities are endorsing Pilates, because it seems to be a little bit of the fad exercise that we do now. But look, in saying that too, this stuff really works. So people will go along and do it because, they're famous movie stars doing it, or, a singer or whoever, but then they actually do some Pilates, get it into their body, and they realise it actually does make them feel better, and it does work.
It does. So there's a saying that you guys have: quality over quantity.
Yes.
Now, what do you mean by that, and why is that so important when it comes to Pilates?
Okay, so it's important in all movements. So you're better off doing 1 or 2 repetitions really well of an exercise, rather than punching out 10 to 20 repetitions done poorly, because we're looking at retraining the body to move efficiently the way it's supposed to, so it doesn't break down and we don't get injuries. So we like to do things, less repetitions well, rather than more repetitions poorly.
Okay, awesome. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually get Anita to demonstrate a couple of exercises. I'm going to ask her a few questions as she shows you a little bit about what Pilates is. So take it away, Anita.
I love the way you dressed for my session.
Oh, look, I dressed up just for you.
Thank you.
No problems.
Feet on the footbar for me, Simon. Now straighten the legs out, and I promise you're not going anywhere until I want you to. I've got the bed. So bring one knee into your chest. We're going to put that strap on. Put some pressure through that foot. I'll have this leg. Pressure through. So we're going to do some feet and straps exercises. So straighten the legs out for me. Now you put a bit of pressure on these straps, and you've got not too much. And you're going to have control of the bed. So you've got control of it now. So we're going to do some leg movements in the air, and ideally I want the legs to move, the pelvis to stay still. Might not happen today, and you'll also find one leg will be more capable than the other in controlling. All right, so what I want you to do is going to open and close the legs, trying to keep the bed still. We'll exhale to open, drawing in through the tummy, and inhale to close. Good, and we're trying to get the legs to work evenly, straighten the legs out. We're working the inner thighs a lot with feet in straps.
So who are the type of people that are going to come in to see you? So what sort of conditions are they going to have?
We get a lot of clients with musculoskeletal injuries. That would be the majority of our clientele. A lot of lower back pain, pelvic issues. And look, we do get neck, shoulders, all different joint and musculoskeletal injuries. That's the majority of our clients that we see.
And the results that you're finding with some of these clients, like how are you finding in terms
Two
of...
frogs, turn your feet out. So I'll just show you, bend your knees in for me, and then we're going to press the legs out. Try to keep the heels together as we push all the way out, tummy and knees straight.
So the benefits that you're saying?
Okay, so obviously a reduction in pain. We find that a lot of clients have better mental health as well. they enjoy coming to the studio. We have a lot of clients that don't enjoy structured exercise, but they come and do Pilates and they love it.
Yep.
And look, just a better quality of life, more energy as well. And it's the social aspect too.
Absolutely. And
Okay.
I can see just how much fun it is. It's just a ball of laughs right now.
Would you like me to take you out of straps?
No, that's fine.
No,
Just
okay.
one last question. So
Yeah.
who shouldn't come? Is there any particular people that really won't benefit from Pilates?
Everybody should do Pilates if they're given the appropriate program for their body and their injuries. But everybody can do Pilates.
That's great.
I have clients as young as 12-year-old ballet dancers to our oldest client is turning 90 this year.
Wow.
So provided that they're given the appropriate program for them,
Yes.
everybody can do Pilates.
And in terms of, like, a lot of people will do Pilates at home compared to, say, coming to a studio, what would your recommendations be around that for them?
Okay, if you have an injury, you're best off coming and getting a program done by somebody that knows what they're doing. But look, if you are going to do a home program or, access something on YouTube in terms of mat classes, that's fine, as long as you remember that if something doesn't feel comfortable or hurts, your body's not ready to do it, so don't do it. So if it hurts, don't do it. And look, best to probably get somebody in the industry to establish your program.
I might just get me out here.
There you
Whoa.
There you
There
go.
we go.
And when you're ready, just roll off.
And look, just one last question for you, Anita. The top tips that you would have around keeping good muscle activation and core strength for those people out there who are interested and are looking at developing some better core
Yeah.
strength.
So doing it regularly, doing some sort of core stability exercises regularly, once, twice a week, and also cross-training too. So not just doing Pilates, but also mix it up with some strength training, some cardiovascular training, whether it's cycling, Zumba, swimming, walking. So cross-train, do it regularly. Have someone that knows what they're doing establish your program first off. But that's probably, and also enjoy it. Do stuff that you enjoy doing. You're not going to stick with something that you don't enjoy.
That's right. That's right. Well, look, there you have it. I hope you've really enjoyed this segment, seeing a little bit behind the scenes and seeing what Pilates is all about. Look, if you want to find out any more information about Anita or Lifestyle Pilates, all their details will be on the screen right now. Look, thank you so much, Anita.
Pleasure. That was fun.
It was great fun, and I tell you what, I feel like I need to have a lie down right now. So look, thank you everyone for joining us. Remember, same time, 12:30 next week. We're going to have another incredible interview for you. Remember, healing is a gift, health a responsibility. See you later.